What's up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 6 of my tips and tricks series. If you're trying to get better at PUBG and win more fights, you're in the right place. In today's video, I've got 5 brand new tips straight from my own matches. Real situations, real plays, and stuff you can start using right away. These are not just random theory tips. These are tested in the heat of battle. And if you want even more tips like this, make sure to check out my full tips and tricks playlist on my channel. I've got loads of episodes already that'll help you improve your gameplay from 1 versus 4 to rotations to close range fights and everything in between. Now, let's jump straight into the action. Tip 1. Alright, so let me tell you about this cheeky little baiting trick that works so well, especially if you're holding a sniper like AWM. In this match, there was an enemy cruising around in a monster truck like it was a Sunday drive. He was going back and forth almost like he was trying to annoy me or bait me to waste bullets. But I wasn't just going to spray and pray. Every time he came close, I put a few solid M4 bursts into him. Not enough to instantly blow up the truck, but enough to make him think, I might get lasered if I keep driving. After a while, it worked. He finally stopped somewhere and hopped out. Now here's where the trick kicks in. Most people, when they've got a sniper, they just pull it out right away, and the enemy listens to the sniper sound, or they just know you're aiming with a sniper and they'll never peek at you. But I wanted him to peek without fear, so I kept my M4 in my hands and fired a few more short bursts, just random taps to sell the act that I was fully committed to my M4 fight. The second he peeked, thinking, "Oh yeah, I can win this," I instantly switched to my AWM, scoped in, and boom! One clean headshot. He didn't even know what hit him. This works because it's a pure mind game. Enemies respect snipers, so they hide. But they underestimate you if they think you're just holding a M4 or Scar L. So if you want those easy sniper kills, sometimes you've got to pretend you're harmless before pulling the trigger. Tip 2. This one is about rushing smart and why you should never solo push unless you're forced to. In this fight, we had a squad holding a solid building, and they weren't giving us many openings. Now, if I had just run in like Rambo, I probably would have been knocked out in 2 seconds and sent straight to the lobby. But instead, I told my teammate to come with me so we could hit them together. The key here is that rushing as a duo or even trio gives you so many advantages. If one of you gets knocked, the other can instantly cover or revive, and you can push from different angles at the same time so they can't focus fire on just one target. In our case, I told my teammate to give me covering fire while I made the first move. As soon as I got close, I called out their position so he could shoot anyone peeking, and that let me get inside safely. Even when my teammate went down mid-rush, I was right there to cover him and bring him back up. I've seen so many players rush solo thinking they'll clutch, but 9 times out of 10, they just give the enemy a free kill. So remember, unless you're in a last man 1 versus 4 clutch attempt, always rush with backup. It's faster, safer, and way more effective. Tip 3. Alright, here's one that's all about patience and tricking campers. So we had just finished a fight and were looting up when one of my teammates said, "Hey, I see someone parachuting down nearby." We rushed to the spot instantly, expecting an easy kill. But when we got there, nothing. No footsteps, no movement, no shots, just complete silence. My squad started thinking maybe the guy ran off or my teammate was just seeing random things. But I've been in enough matches to know that some players will land, panic, and just hide like their life depends on it. So I decided to test it. I told my team, let's act like we're leaving. If he's hiding here, he'll come out once he thinks we're gone. So we all got in our vehicle and drove off like we were heading to the next zone, but I quietly stayed back, keeping my crosshair aimed at the area I suspected. And sure enough, about 10 seconds later, Mr. Camper comes out from behind cover and starts looting, thinking he's safe. I instantly called it out. My squad did a quick U-turn, and we collapsed on him so fast he had no chance. This trick works because a lot of players don't have the patience to hide forever. The moment they think you've left, they'll come out. So sometimes, the best way to flush someone out isn't by running around searching, but by making them think you're gone. Tip 4! This fight was pure chaos. I was stuck behind one small cover, and a full squad was pushing me from the front. If you just sit and hide, they'll rush and collapse on you. If you peek too long, they'll melt your health bar in seconds. So I used one of my go-to survival moves. Peek, shoot, hide, repeat. I would only expose myself for maybe half a second at most, get 1 or 2 shots in, then instantly duck back. The damage didn't seem like much at first, but every time I peeked, I was chipping away at their armor and health. And the best part? It forced them to stop their rush and heal every few seconds, which bought me precious time. Once I saw one of them overpeak too much, I took him down instantly, and that shifted the momentum. From there, it was just about repeating the cycle. Deal damage, hide, bait them into peeking too much, and punish them. This style of fighting frustrates enemies because they can't get a clean shot, and it keeps you alive while you look for the right moment to strike. The big thing to remember is, never overstay your peak. The longer you're out, the higher the chance you get lasered. Half a second can be the difference between clutching and spectating. Tip 5. We were in Pochinki near the recall tower, holding a solid spot. A squad had set up inside the warehouse nearby, and they were playing it safe. Then they managed to knock one of my teammates, but instead of holding their advantage, they made a huge mistake. One of them rushed us across open ground, and I dropped him instantly. Another peeked from the top of the warehouse and got knocked too. Now with 2 of them down, they were in full panic mode. That's when I knew it was time to push. If you wait too long here, they'll revive and heal, and the fight gets harder. But when they're in revive mode, they're at their weakest. One player is out of the fight and the others are distracted. So I rushed in without hesitation. First, I finished the knocked player so he couldn't be saved. Then I switched to my shotgun and blasted the reviver before he even knew I was there. The last guy didn't even have time to react before I sent him to the lobby. All right, boys, that's it for episode 6 of my Tips and Tricks series. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new that you can use in your own matches. Remember, these tips work best when you actually try them in-game, so get in there and practice. And hey, if you're struggling with specific things like jiggle movement, headshot accuracy, or crosshair placement, I've got a full close-range guide series on my channel that covers all of that step by step. Also, if you haven't seen my other Tips and Tricks episodes yet, go watch them. Each one is packed with useful stuff that'll make you a better player. I'll see you in the next one. Happy gaming.